my name is Mac, and welcome back to the 5th episode of Highlights from the Permanent Collection. Today we'll be talking about artist Mariana Smith, who works primarily in printmaking, miniature paintings, and video installations. Mariana was born and raised in Moscow, Russia, by a mother who is a graphic designer and took her on many trips to art museums while growing up. She took art lessons at her school as well as after school, and in 1990 graduated with her first undergraduate degree in Fine Arts and Miniature Painting from the Moscow College of Applied and Industrial Arts. In 1992, she immigrated to the United States and attended the Columbus College of Art and Design, where she graduated with her second undergraduate degree in printmaking. In 2004, she received her Master's of Fine Arts in Printmaking on a full scholarship at Cornell University. Her work has been shown in places such as the United States, Guam, China, and Italy, just to name a few, and she now is a professor at Stockton University in New Jersey, where she lives. This piece, called Untitled, after Andrei Tarkovsky by Mariana Smith, was acquired by the Dishman in 2013 after our show titled Modern Impulses and Surreal Dreams, in which it was featured. This is a multi-medium print featuring processes of intaglio and graphite monotype with gold leaf. This very tall print features a scene from the 1979 Soviet science fiction art film titled Stalker by the director Andrei Tarkovsky. I'll try not to give any spoilers about the movie, but the basic premise is that a man is hired as a guide to lead two other men into a quarantined wasteland called the Zone. In the Zone is a room that, if you enter, reveals your innermost desires. Me and Elizabeth thought this would be an appropriate time to talk about this piece, since we all have experienced the trials of quarantine.
Hello everyone, so this week's topic is printmaking, and there are a lot of different processes to printmaking, but what we're going to be doing here is a variation of a woodblock print. But instead of a woodblock, we're going to be using a potato. So for this demo, all you're going to need is a potato, a sharp knife, some paint. I'm going to be using some craft acrylic paint, and then some paper to do your stamping on. You can also use cloth, but I'm going to say if you're going to use cloth, I would try to use a paint that's gonna, adhere and stay to the cloth. Also, as always with our demos, safety first, please. If you're gonna be working with kids, I would probably just have them draw the design that they want on paper, and then you do all of the cutting. And if you're nervous about cutting or you're not that great with cutting, maybe just use a big knife to chop the potato, and then to do the design, maybe use something a little bit smaller and easier to handle, like an X-Acto knife. But other than that, yeah, it's going to be a very bare tools demo today. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is cut your potato in half lengthwise. And that's just going to give you the most square space for design. So that's done. And then since you have two halves, you can do two different kinds of shapes. I think I'm gonna go with the celestial theme today. I think I'm gonna do a moon and a star. So what you can do is you can grab a pencil and then you can go ahead and trace that out on the potato itself. So I'm going with a crescent moon. Then you're just going to take your knife and kind of carefully go along that shape that you've cut out. Or the shape that you've drawn out, rather. Okay, after you've done that, you can go ahead and start cutting around the shape. So we want our shape to, I believe, be convex. Yeah, convex. We want it to stick out. So I'm going to start cutting around, you know, cutting off all of this excess stuff here. And, you know, just to remain safe, cut slow and steady. This is not a race by any means. And you also don't want to mess up your design by being too hasty. So just take your time. And it doesn't really matter what the potato looks like outside from the shape that you've created. Mine actually looks pretty ugly right now. What matters is that you retain the shape that you want, because that's what's, you know, actually going to become our potato block stamp in the end. So once you get it to where it sticks out like that, then we're good to go. So I'm just gonna go a little bit further here. And it is better form to cut away from yourself as well. Kind of breaking the rules a little bit, but but like I've got my basic shape cut out how I wanted. Okay, and now I'm gonna move on to the star. I think this might be a little bit more difficult for me, but I've practiced on this simple shape, so Okay, there's my star. And let's go ahead and start the painting. I don't have a brush, so I'm just gonna kind of go for it. And you wanna make sure you're working on a flat surface. I've got a placemat under mine, but it's still pretty flat, so I'm just gonna kind of go for it. If you have a brush, you're more than welcome to use a brush. I don't, so I'm just gonna go in here and kind of put a little dollop and then make sure it's spread over my shape. I decided to go with a pink moon. And I'm kind of dabbing it on here. You want to make sure there's a thick enough layer. Okay, let's see what we get. That's pretty cool. So yeah, it just creates a basic stamp. I'm gonna squeeze a little bit more paint out. I think it might also help if you take a paper towel to your potato first before you start painting, kind of dry it out a little bit. Just to give the paint a little bit more texture to hold on to. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with my star. Use a different finger so the colors don't mix. I'm gonna see if I can go back over this one that I didn't get that good. It's a little bit better. But yeah, that's basically it. Potato print. Thanks for watching this week.